Hey guys, it's Simply Imaginary People, Frankie, and I just want to show you some tips and tricks about skins and fixing seams and making baby hairs. So you're going to need a version of Photoshop that's extended. So I have CS6 extended. All you're going to do is you're going to go to Open, and you're just going to open a object file. I can find the one I want. So here we go. And then you're just going to go to Scene here in the 3D window, and you're going to go to Unlit Texture, and then where it says Object Mesh, you're going to go to Initial Shading Group and say Replace Texture. And you're just going to load your skin file. There you go. Now, as you can see, it's kind of difficult to work with these controls. As you can see, I have some seams here along the shoulder. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use this healing tool here. I'm just going to go along my seams. That messed it up. So I'll just use the stamp tool instead. Maybe bigger. And yeah, just gonna like stamp over this area a bit to fix seams. And yep, and there we go. Kind of less seamy. And I can do it on the other side too. There we go. And obviously you can do ones between the legs if you can reach there and whatever. Once you're done fixing your 3D mesh, what you're going to do is go back to this initial shading group and here go to Edit Texture. And it will load your fixed texture for you, and then you can just save that as a DDS and you've got a fixed skin. Next part is a bit more complicated. So you're going to need Blender. And all you're going to do is you're going to go to File, Import Wavefront Object, and I'm going to show you with PU Face, and then I'm also going to import PU Scalp. So this is what you need to do if you want to work on seams of two different parts that have two different textures. So we've got the head and the scalp. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to I'm going to go to Cycles Render at the top here. And then I'm going to click on PU Face, and I'm going to click on this little round materials tab here, say New, where it says Color. I'm going to click Image Texture and Open. I'm going to say Face. And I'm going to do the same for the scalp. You need to assign textures, different textures, otherwise it will merge the objects in Photoshop, and you don't want that. Aim Scalp. If I go to texture, it should show me the textures. Yep. Okay, so now I've textured this. I'm going to go to File, Export. You can add the body as well if you want to. I'm just showing you for head and thing. And you're going to export this as .day. I'm just going to export it here. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to open. I'm going to open my day. Right. I'm going to go to Scene and do Unlit Texture again, and here you'll see that you've got two materials now, PU Face and PU Scalp. If you didn't assign textures, probably it will only be one. Do the same thing, replace texture, aim Face, replace texture, aim Scalp. There we go. Got a nice head here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Edit Texture for the face, going to Layers, and I'm going to make a new layer. And I'm going to go back here, and when it comes up with do you want to sync it, press yes. Go back to 3D, go to the scalp, Edit Texture, make a new layer. Okay. The syncing doesn't always work perfectly, but like half the time it does. So now what I can do is I can pick a brush. I don't really have. Oh, that's a hairbrush. pick a hairbrush, change the color to brown or whatever, and I can literally place hair on scalp and head. And I can also do it on the back of the head and near the ears because I want to show you something. So hell, just using some random here. And another cool tip is Windows brush. And so I'm just going to rotate this brush so it's a different angle. Put it at the side here. I'm just going to decorate a bit. Right. Now, if I go to these textures, you'll see it has my hair texture in exactly the places it needs to be. This one doesn't, because as I said, the syncing usually doesn't work for me. But if I go to edit texture again, you'll see has it, and you'll see it's stretched on this texture, but is straight on the head. And this is because the textures, like the 2D map, UV map is obviously a bit stretched. So if you don't want stretched hair, you just draw it on the 3D image. And yeah, so that's pretty much how you can draw baby hair, and you then have it as a second layer. So you can just save that layer and then you can put it on whatever skin you want. So yeah, that's a little tip and trick of how to make skins, get rid of seams and make baby heads. I forgot to add a bit, it seems. So what I was going to say is I'm going to make a new layer, and I'm just going to this is more a skin blending tip. Doesn't really matter which picture you use. I would use high quality pictures, not whatever I'm using, but I'm just going to copy this image and I'm going to paste it onto my 3D window, and I'm going to reduce down my size, and then I can literally it's actually quite a cute image. Make it kind of fit over the skin file, like this. Maybe the nose a bit higher, a little lower, like that. Okay, press yes, up the opacity again, and I'm just going to say merge down. You'll see what happens. And now if I go to face and I edit the texture again, you'll see I have a rather cute face actually. I'm going to get rid of the mouth area because it doesn't work, because the lips don't line up. And just, get rid of these corner parts that don't line up. And then if I go to the 3D image, I now have a rather adorable face. And voila, quick and easy to get a face.